Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think, Saiteja, do you want to just do a formal, I think whatever you do the welcome and then we can get started, or otherwise we are okay to start.
So thanks all for joining. So as I've said, I represent Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at IIIT Hyderabad. So we are doing a series of webinars under the theme called Resilience Unlocked. So this is one of the webinar which we have planned for all the audience now. So the topic of today is the art of negotiation and making a deal acceptable. So over to you, sir. We can start the session.
Okay, perfect. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Yogesh Agiwal, and if you would have seen in my flyer, I had mentioned that it's such a pleasure for me to welcome Sri Lekha. Sri Lekha has been working with me for last 10 years. We were together in Wipro, and I have done many programs with Sri Lekha. So I can, even before you see her, I can vouch for her delivery and her sincerity and commitment to whatever topic she takes up. And today I'm the producer, so I'm going to be watching your chat window. So any questions you have, I'm going to really look at those questions and also help her in moving the slides around, and maybe one or two stories I'll share in between. So that's all. I think if you guys want to clap, if you were in a classroom, you would have clapped. So you could do this action and then clap, Srilekha. Okay, welcome, Srilekha, please.
Thank you very much. Indeed, butterflies in the stomach, having such big, people in the audience, and I feel very happy to be presenting this program. And negotiation has been one of my most favorite conversation or topic that I deliver programs on. Little thing is, I wish I could have negotiated with Corona and met all of you in person, which was not possible. But nevertheless, if we have to really look at way forward, looking at what we have in front of us, the uncertainties, I'm sure we really have to plan some of our negotiations much in advance. So that's exactly why the topic is about making an acceptable deal, which means that we want to negotiate keeping the other person in mind as well, not just our interest. So many interesting personalities have done research around this topic. We would work with two schools today, rather three schools to be precise. So one is William Urey's You Can Win. Two is Gavin Kennedy's Purple Negotiation. We'll also bring some parts of Hathwaite as well, where we're talking about selling. We're not going to talk about selling here, but we'll have some parts of spin selling in this 1 hour. And I also want to set expectation, and I'm sure everybody here knows that negotiation is such a vast topic, and 1 hour is too less to really present, that vast topic. But we will look at a few concepts, few tools, which we can readily use as soon as we go back from today's program. As Yogesh already mentioned that, we will be using menti.com, and so because of which you have to use your laptop, it will be good for you, while you can participate in, the survey as well. So that's a thought process that we wanted to give you. So just to pep up all of you, can we hear it loud in the chat? How do you feel to be here in the webinar today? Let's just take a couple of minutes.
So we are saying great and thanks. Very good. Good deal. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. To learn. Okay. Awesome. Curious. Okay. Looking for some great content. Okay. Wonderful to see great content. Okay. Looking forward. Okay. Excited. Good. High expectation. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Stephen Anthony, high expectation. Okay. Very good. Everybody is feeling good about it, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Good 1 hour. Okay. Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Good topic also. Ravindra says good topic. Okay. Very nice. Brilliant.
I like the good deal part of it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, as we are talking about the deal bit, interesting. So I just want to really look at thoughts around how negotiation became very interesting for me. I want to take my dad as a big contributor to this. From a very young age, he always used to send me to market. He used to tell me, and just go and find your way out. I think he did a lot of good with that, because whenever I'd gone and observed people and really looked at what they really looking for in that sale or in that conversation, and how did they negotiate. I learned a lot from there. I saw some of you coming from different parts of India. There are various other places we learn negotiation from, and I think we all negotiated from the time we were born. Starting from food until today, we continue to negotiate. So my roots are from very young. I'm sure each one of you also have your own learning platforms with negotiation. So to keep that in mind and move forward, and to just look at what we're going to learn today, how we're going to take it forward. We're going to learn a few tools. To be precise, we're going to be delving around 4 parts, and each part talks about. I'm my voice is audible, Yogesh. It's
Yeah,
echoing a bit.
there was once time it was a double voice, but now it is okay.
Now it's better. So we really have learned a lot from the way, from our childhood, from our growing phase, from the first job. Then when we are matured, we've learned negotiation. But there are some proven tools, and we want to really represent those proven tools here, right? So we really want to ask you guys, in your experience, whenever you've had an opportunity to negotiate, I request Yogesh to share a particular question here. I also request the audience to take your mobile. You could go and do www.menti.com, and you'll find a code which is 130984. The question we have is, what's the first thought comes to your mind when you have to negotiate?
I cannot see the whole URL. Can you repeat that, please? I missed it.
www.menti.com.
Oh,
You
okay.
can see it on the screen also.
You can see
Yeah.
it on the screen as well. And the question is, what is the first thought that comes to your mind when you have to negotiate? We can take a minute or so, quickly can put your thoughts there.
The code is getting blocked, so I guess the controls on top of block. Yeah, this will help.
Was this good? 130984. Yogesh will be receiving. Yogesh, you can flash the results.
I have already
The cloud
flashed.
is coming up. Yeah.
Yes. Can you see
fine.
this?
Yeah, we can see.
Lovely. Brilliant.
Wow.
Win-win.
Wow.
Resistance from
Customer
others.
has
Okay. Customer has more power. Avoid as much as possible. Okay.
Very
My
nice.
value addition.
Interesting.
Benefit.
Target, value for money, preparation, strike the deal. Wow, very interesting thoughts we have. We have
Okay.
around 94 people. You'll be able to see, Yogesh,
Yeah.
number of people who voted.
Yeah, I think we can see this. Win-win. I think this is good.
Interesting. If we look at this cloud, you may find a lot of interesting words coming out. Strike a deal, get benefit to us, win-win, prepare, avoid as much as possible. Lovely, I like that. That's the instantaneous, honest answer. I'm sure many of us really don't want to negotiate, and I'm sure we have our reasons for it. Win-win situation. I will get what I want, or will get what I want. Then I also see, stressful. Wow. Mutually beneficial is an interesting word. Uncertainty. Best at cheapest. My God. I think we as facilitators in this group know that so much.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty is another word. Diplomatic is also an interesting one. Price, challenging, resistance. Very good. I also see something to forego. My God, somebody wants to forego negotiations. I like the word customer as the power. Yogesh, if we have had everybody present their thoughts, we can freeze this cloud.
Yes.
And just want to quickly share, today's next half an hour is based on how we really develop an acceptable deal in spite of all the adjectives that we've had here. For people who thought it is very stressful, for people who thought you want to forego it, for people who thought it's very challenging, if you want to make a very good deal, win-win, may I request you to go on mute,
So
please?
I think
Thank you.
Sai, since you're the host, you can put all on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
So having said all of this cloud was very, very interesting. So in today's program, we're going to, in the next half hour, learn how to deal with these things that we have in mind. So when we really talk about these words, there are a lot of times some of us really look at, is negotiation, an inborn skill? Does everybody possess that skill? Or what is negotiation all about? How does somebody, I'm sure some of you really thought when one of your colleagues or friends got away with a negotiation just like that, So we want to quickly really unfold that piece right now and see what is negotiation actually. If we were to look at this cloud, we want to know what negotiation is. So I request Yogesh to really look at, we have a poll to ask you. The poll comprises of 4 options, which we want you to really think about. What is negotiation actually? Yeah, is it an art? Is it a science? Is it an art and a science? Or is it a skill?
Yeah.
So we can give you a few minutes to really look at, take this poll. And you can do the submit button if this is the first time you're doing a poll on Zoom. And we will get the response. We'll flash that too.
Yeah. So the art and science and his skill.
Wow.
Okay.
Narottam says it's skill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we should believe Narottam because he is a big man doing everyday dealing.
It's an art. Ravindra says it's an art.
Okay, Ravindra says it's an art. Okay.
We have another minute for you to finish. I like that, Mini. You said it's a game. Wow.
Mini game, okay. Oh, mind game. Okay.
Mind game, okay.
Mind
game. Skill. Very good.
Okay. Jagan Manta, as always, it is a skill, but you need to muster the will. Okay.
Ah, wow.
It's a skill and talent, I think. We have.
Manvendra says it's an art.
Okay. Yeah, I think, Sainteja, I think you would have got all the responses by now, so you can maybe.
You can share the poll result, Sai. I hope everybody.
of them say that it is a skill.
Okay. Are you able to flash it on the screen? You may have to share your screen or.
No, I think if you say share the results, it will show up automatically.
Okay, I have to just end the poll. And
end the poll and then.
And then share the result. Oh, perfect.
Wow, superb. So I got the result that I wanted, though I didn't negotiate for it. The truth is this, negotiation is a skill and it is mastered while you use the art and science of negotiation. So everybody in this group, I'm sure, has learned negotiation over a period of time, and over a period of time, you've developed the skill as well. But during COVID times, what do we want to really look at? We want to really look at this skill and see how we can master it in the benefit of 2 parties. If you looked at the cloud, there were a few people who said, will I get my best? Will I get the cheap at, will I get the best at the cheapest price? Going forward, it's going to be a mutual, situation. That's why we want to call it an acceptable deal. So Zig Ziglar came up with an interesting thought process. He spoke about, this is
perfect. Yeah, this is perfect.
He spoke about an interesting saying. He said, you can get everything you want if you will help enough, others people get what they want. Very simple. Are we going to be part of what the other party wants as well?
Hmm.
Now, having said that, this piece is a apt saying or apt quote for what we have for today. How are we going to mutually work with each other and negotiate for each other's benefit? So we want to go to another piece of information right now before we learn the tools to be able to help others also get what they want. What are some barriers we see? If we're able to type in the chat box of some barriers that we really face while we negotiate. When we say negotiation, some of you really spoke about it, right? So what are some barriers? Unrealistic target, incomplete information. Very good.
Lack of empathy. Okay.
Oh, having one-sided view. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Abir, can you say what's the mindset that you're mentioning? Making them accept our points. Stubborn, perception, fears. Very good. Lack of trust. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. So fear again, not knowing the person I'm negotiating with. Very, very interesting thought process. Yeah. Yogesh, I'm able to read a few. If I've missed any, you can. Lack of knowledge.
Yes. Yeah,
Not to lose.
Yeah, limitation. Yeah.
The bargain, customizing, lack of preparation.
Yes.
Not sure what other party wants.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very, very interesting views we are seeing here. We are really looking at thoughts that we really want to work on today. Like I said, this topic is extremely vast, and we want to really look at basic pieces of what we need to do in a negotiation to create an acceptable deal. Thank you very much that all of you sounded, what's the going forward that we needed to do. Where I'm able to pull threads from preparation, pull threads from knowing the other party, pull threads from understanding what they need, pull threads around building trust. So these are certain parts that we want to really work around today. Yeah. So thank you very much for putting up your thoughts. So we want to really look at going forward. What are things that we really have to look at? I want Yogesh to narrate an interesting story, which will be, the result of that story will really talk about the basement of any negotiation conversation. Yogesh, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So I think this is a story of one builder who have been like whenever I've tried to buy a property, so maybe I've sold a couple of flats before I moved to the place where I am currently, and for last 20 years this has been pretty much the same builder I have always tried to work with. And when I go back, I remember the time when I think this was the first time when I was trying to buy the property with him, and he was quoting 100 rupees at that time per square feet extra. And I was very upset with him, although the quality was very good and everything, but I was really upset about he not really budging on that amount. One thing he told me that day, that sir, you take it based on my trust, and we'll talk about it after 6 months. And after 6 months, I saw that there was a flyover that was getting built, and that information I think at that time was not public, and some source I think he knew about it. And you knew that the moment the flyover gets constructed, the same locality will be actually 400 rupees more in a span of 1 year. And when it happened, actually I could, even without moving into the flat, I could actually sell that flat and buy something else from the same builder. Now even today, whenever I meet him and there is a discussion with him, he continues to, I think we have the same haggling of negotiation, but somewhere I know that he's actually looking something good for me, which he may not share upfront. But because of that trust, maybe I think in 1999 is the first deal that happened. Even today, I may go to 10 builders, but finally I will negotiate with him only, or I will not go anywhere else. And that foundation of trust that he built and that 20 or 21 years ago still continues with me. So we have had many conversations, but I can tell you from a business point of view, he's done a phenomenal work in last 20 years. And I personally know that because of that, I go to him only. So that's what I was sharing with Sri Lekha, that that's a very interesting experience I have on trust.
Interesting, Yogesh. So the word that we are looking at is the trust piece. And if we look at a lot of schools, the three schools that I mentioned already, one is William Ury School, two is Gavin Kennedy School, and third is Hathwaite. All these three schools primarily prescribe that if we're able to build trust with people that we are negotiating, that will be the stepping foundation of any negotiation conversation. So, let's keep the floor open in your chat boxes for the next couple of minutes. Let's hear you from, how do we go about building trust in any negotiation conversation? Go ahead, people. I'm sure you've had lots of experiences. What are ways that we can build trust in a negotiation? Very good. Transparency. Fantastic word. Good. Let's hear it from you. Open, let them win. Empathy, constant communication. Interesting. Let them win is another interesting thought process. Okay. Believe, fulfill customer need. Very nice. Yeah, upfront and state. Make sure. Honesty, openness. Yeah. All these words that are flashing so fast. You guys have really mastered the typing skill, I'm sure. They're all not easy, believe me. There's lots of effort that goes into building all of this as part of your personality, that the person negotiating with you comes across to you and says that whatever you say, I really am with you on that. Yeah, so Narottam says quality, fantastic. Yeah, so we want to really think that we will put our efforts on building trust, and what we will learn, in the next 20-30 minutes, we are really going to see that also building trust for you, because some of you spoke about knowledge, some of you spoke about credibility, some of you spoke about preparedness, some of you spoke about transparency. All of these does not come easy, like I told you, and it's very important for you to really put effort. Yeah, so trust is the bottom line. So that's the first learning for today. Keep at it whenever you're in a negotiation conversation. There's constant effort on building trust. Yeah, while we build trust, it's very important for us to see what are some phases of negotiation that we really want to put the client through. So here is a particular tool. It's called the 4-phase methodology. It comes from Purple Negotiation, a Gavin Kennedy school, which says that any negotiation goes through 4 phases: prepare, debate, propose, and bargain. Now, each of these phases have their own outcomes, and we're going to be talking about a lot around the prepare phase because of the lack of time. When prepare happens, the rest of it flows naturally. Yeah, so you're preparing to debate, you're preparing to propose, you're preparing to bargain as well. So today's focus, would be around these 4 phases, and we're going to learn tools around these 4 phases. I see Banu typing about the 3 schools. I mentioned school number 1 is William Ury's You Can Win. School number 2 is Purple Negotiation. The name of the founder is Gavin Kennedy. And school number 3 is Hathwaite. I'm sure many of us have known this school, which is spin selling. Banu, are we good? Can we move on? Yeah. So we're going to be working around this phase right now. Yeah, spin selling is right. You're right, Ravi. So let's ask, the audience today. Yeah, we're talking about preparation, knowledge. We're talking about how we go about it and things like that. Yeah, SPIN, you're right. So we want to really look at what are outcomes of these phases, and so we want to prepare for those outcomes. So in a general negotiation conversation, this is important for you to have answers for these 4 questions. And when you have answers for these 4 questions, it is automatic that you will really be able to prepare better. So the first question is, Yogesh, we will go to this next. Yogesh, can we first do with the question that I have on the chart? So people, you may want to write down your thoughts, keeping your current customer at this point in time, or your immediate negotiation that you're going to have, or a negotiation that you already did, and you could check if, you know, all of these comes into place. So as part of your prepare phase, the first question that we want to ask is, what are my needs, or what are my wants from this negotiation? Yeah, that's the first question. The second question is where we're talking about what are their needs. The third question is, what are my needs that I'm willing to trade off? And the fourth question is, what are their needs that they will be willing to trade off? So I want to give you an example at this point in time. Let's say if Yogesh and I were to have a negotiation. Yogesh is a training and development organization, and I am his client. And as a customer who has a workforce of 1,000 people, I want to go and negotiate for some training program with Yogesh. The first question is, what are my needs? So I want to skill people, and I want to create an environment which is learning friendly. That's my need. What are their needs? What is Yogesh's need is to really create that, need for me. One, Yogesh's need is also about building business, also sustaining business. What else, Yogesh, is your need?
Yeah, I think what you shared, two are for there, and possibly creating a more sustainable organization for future.
Right, very good. So the third question is, what are my needs I'm willing to trade off? In this negotiation, there can be various objections that we may have, and how do we go about meeting these objections or removing these objections is we want to really see if what are things may not be so important, but yet in their want list. So how do we go about presuming that? That is where we want to also have a chart which says answers for all of these things, and then go to the client with the next piece of debate. Go there and have a conversation to see, these are my needs, these are your needs, and are we in the same basket? Yeah. So what are needs that are very important for you? What are needs that are things that I can't trade off as well? So in this conversation of a 4-phase negotiation model, Gavin Kennedy comes up with a 6-step, and he calls that a negotiation range setup. Yogesh, can you put that slide up, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rajesh, I'm answering that question right now. I think that's the thought process we are coming to. Now, in any preparation, these 6 questions are inevitable. And it's important for you to have answers to these questions before you go to the client's place. So we want to talk about what this negotiation is all about. So I'm again going to take Yogesh and I as example. We want to really look at, we've identified needs, and we've come to a place where we want to really see what works well for each other. So the negotiation could be because of money, could be because of timeline, could be because of sessions, can be topics, can be various things. So you have a list of items that the negotiation is all about. The second piece is, what are my interests? What is that I want to achieve out of this negotiation? What is a core thing that I will not let go? And that's very important for me. The third A question is where we're talking about what are negotiable wants in this negotiation, where we're talking about, yes, I need it, but I can really look at the priority part of it. As I have a 10-pointer list, can I think of high, medium, and low in that priority list? Where that answers the question.
One question from Rajesh saying that what is stronger, needs or wants?
Can I throw that to you, Rajesh, in the first place? Yeah. So I am thirsty. I want milkshake. I need water. Rajesh, right, Yogesh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rajesh,
Rajesh,
Rajesh
if
Coach.
you want to unmute yourself, you can, or you can put it up in the chat box. Thank you, Rajesh. So it's the need piece. We all have a big wish list and a need list. So this preparation will help you really look at the high priorities, medium priorities, and your low priorities. Where we're talking about the wants will become the low priorities part of it. Things that you still need, can defer it, will be the medium part of it. And the hygiene part of it would be the high priority part, or the greater need that we're talking about. So if I were to take an example of COVID, yeah, the high priority need is sanitation, right? Safety. Yeah, maybe some amount of, if one of you can add to the thought, what could be medium priority thing in COVID time? Am I seeing something in the chat box?
Not yet. People are thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they're still thinking.
getting a mask. Okay. What could the least priority then? Wow, okay. Medium is having fun. Okay. Geeta says having fun. What else is medium in COVID time? Can you deliver on time?
Making milk.
Interesting. Rajesh, are you asking me, will I close before 5? Okay, buying from supermarket, picking up snacks, salon, okay. Very nice. Not to step out is the priority. Very good. Malls. Okay, what's the least priority? Can we hear that? What's the least priority? Non-veg, okay. See, it can be relative, right? Travel to work,
Traveling for
extravagance, shopping. Very good. Stepping out, going out to eat. Interesting. So I think that really adds value to Rajesh's question and the 3B question here we have. So what are priorities we have? And what is your entry point and exit point, where we really start and where we really close? And I want to give an interesting example that I have, how many of you are from Mumbai here? Blind dates. Wow, Shekhar, that's really wild during COVID, huh? Okay. So any of you from Mumbai here? Put your hands up for Mumbai. Okay, I heard a lot of interesting experiences of negotiation. Narottam, I'm sure you have as well.
Deepak is in neighbor Pune.
Yeah, so I've had lots of interesting experiences on entry and exit points at street shopping in Mumbai. If you've looked at it, they have very clear-cut entry and exit points. There'll be somebody who's wanting to sell you a particular item where they would quote at 1,000 rupees. That's an entry point. And this guy has already set up an exit point at 300 bucks. He will happily play between the entry and exit point. And at the exit point, when you're going below 300, that's the end of that particular negotiation. हम जा रहा है तो जाओ, कोई बात नहीं, वापस आएगा तो same price में नहीं देगा. These will be conversations that you may have. So coming to the real time business conversation that you have, whenever you have an organized purchase, it's very important for us to have clear cut entry and exit points so that you have a great settlement range and a negotiation range as well. So going back to our 4 phases, now we are moving slowly from the prepare phase part of it. While you debate, while you propose and bargain, these things will come very handy for you. What do you really want? What are some tradables that you have? And how shall we manage this negotiation? So I'm sure there will be lots of conflicts, lots of objections. And when you have this prepared and set ready, it's going to be so comfortable for you to really go ahead with the negotiation. So I'd like to ask you a question. When I say tradables, what are some thoughts coming in your mind? Let's go back to Yogesh, selling, training, learning and development, to Shri, running an organization of 1,000 people, wanting learning to become a culture. So what are some tradables that Yogesh can prepare? What are some tradables that she can prepare as part of the negotiation? Posters, very good. Thanks, Padma. Anybody else? Webinars, duration of the program. Very good, Preeti. Interesting. If I were to give you an example, you know, if you're buying a car and, you know, if you were to go to a showroom, there is a price that the person has, and over and above that, the freebies, content, very good. Trainer, credibility, post-session support. Fantastic. Thanks, Banu. So anything that comes over and above the agreed part, those can be tradables. Written material of post-reference. Thank you, Abir. Yeah, so tradables are something that we really keep ready, that we can trade off when we have a roadblock in the propose or the bargain phase. So when we go to the client and when we want to really make our stance, now let's say, for example, if I were to tell Yogesh that, you know, post the training, we're going to take care of, you know, implementation process by really presenting to you evidences of how they've used the training material or how they've used the concepts. So we will create an action learning plan and we will have evidences to see that your employees have used our training, you know, to the benefit of their performance. That's a great tradable. Yeah, so something that the client will be interested and will have a benefit from that particular engagement. So in this process, the question 6 is an interesting one where we're saying, how are we managing the negotiation? Somebody here in the cloud also spoke about, I need to understand the person, I need to understand the environment, I need to really have a big overview of the entire negotiation. So the wholesome thought process of the logistics, the entirety of the negotiation is managing the negotiation. So Gavin Kennedy very nicely put up this 6-step as Nego Tech Prep method, which really is 80% of your negotiation, which means that if we have had answers for these, it's going to be even more seamless in a negotiation table. So like I said, the entry point, exit point, there are a few terminologies and language, which probably we are aware of already, where I'd like to present this chart to you, where the seller and the buyer. Yogesh, you'll have to acknowledge if it is visible, and some of you can also acknowledge. Are we good?
Yeah. I think we can see it. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So if you've looked at it, it's called the negotiation range document. That means there is a seller who has an entry exit point and there is a buyer who has an entry exit point. Now, if let's say for the example, the exit points don't overlap for the seller and the buyer, then there is no negotiation at all. How do we get to this? As we already saw, there is a prepare phase and debate and propose. A lot of conversation happens in the debate phase to identify this particular overlap between the two, the buyer and the seller. Yeah. So having said that, if we were to look at this, we're talking about a negotiation range. We're talking about an overlap, which is the settlement range in that particular sale. So if we were to really build this, if we have an overlap of both our needs, if we were able to bring that particular overlap, that's where we've got, you know, to the negotiation piece. So in every negotiation, this is going to be imperative. So I want to throw a question. We've learned 4 thought processes right now very quickly, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of reading to do when you go back. One is the basic foundation, which is work on building the trust. How do you go about doing it? Just imagine your Nego Tech Prep will really help you build a case study on your negotiation. If you've had what this negotiation is all about, what is the interest that we have in negotiation? What are we actually, you know, looking at from the negotiation? What is my need? What is their need? Where we know the entry and exit point, We have our priorities set: high, medium, low. You never trade off your high priority. You're okay to exchange your medium priority, and you're okay to give away your low priority needs. Yeah. So when we are talking about these three, while we also understand that we can set aside tradables, when we have a roadblock, when we have a bottleneck, we really share the tradable in that negotiation. So we're able to take the logistics part of it, who's going to be part of the negotiation, what is the demographic of that particular individual. And we are also looking at, if the room is set, if the negotiation person is also in good sense for the negotiation, all of this is managing negotiation. I saw a question coming up.
Yeah, actually, the
Yogesh.
question is, what is the difference between low priority needs and trade-offs?
Yeah. So most of your low priority needs sometimes can be, high priority for your buyer or the seller. So you can use them as your tradable as well. The other interesting part of it is, if your low priority things can be moved away, they are less burden in a negotiation. You really are not really harping. If I were to give an example, if Yogesh and I, again, going back to the training piece that we're talking about, high priority is, let's say, performance and learning. Medium priority is, Yogesh, can you share what would be medium priority for me if I was buying training from you?
So doing, covering all the locations, meaning in India, if
Could
you've
be.
got many locations, then you may want to not cover all the locations.
Okay. And what could be low priority, Yogesh?
Low priority could be like just training certain domains, certain departments, for example.
Okay, fine. So these were the things. How different is certain department training different from tradable? Does that answer? What was the name of the person who asked the question?
Raj, he's called Pakya Solutions.
Okay,
Shailaja.
yeah,
Shailaja.
Shailaja. So low priority would be training, many people, or it can be my decision not to train a few people. But tradables would be like a lot of examples that came in the chat as well, where we are talking about, we could provide a lot of support post training. We could really look at posters, making things more interesting for the audience in terms of engaging, putting credible facilitator. All those things can be interesting tradables.
So
I
Shri, as
saw
I
you got
see,
it.
yeah, so Shri, as I see, I think a lot of preparation has to be done, looks like, because the way you are saying that if people do preparation, a lot of this clarity can come to their mind even before they go for the negotiation.
Yeah. So I want to again repeat, what I said. Gavin Kennedy and William Ury talk about it so much that if you prepare, 80% of your job is done. Yeah. So in today's times, as we are in recession, yeah, the preparation can be very dynamic as well. So let's say, for example, the first thing that we have to go up in a negotiation could be empathy of what the client is going through. Listening can be a very important priority for a client in a negotiation table at this point in time. I saw another question, Yogesh. Can you read that for me?
Yeah. So it's from Raja, and Raja
Uh-huh.
says that he's talking about the enterprise level companies, where he says that people at the procurement do not really understand the value of services, and many a times I think the businesses or user team will be isolated post the product evaluation, and they cannot influence the purchase on the commercials. How to convince them who see the products as are same, meaning, so procurement doesn't really value your service versus somebody else, but the end user actually values. So
Very interesting question, Raja. So if I were to put you in your procurement shoes, let's say, for example, in a similar situation like that, how do you think somebody can win over you? Very true, undoubtedly. I have my answer, but I want you to really think from a procurement point of view. What would you like to hear from a salesperson or a negotiation person as a procurement person? What would really build the high for you? Why would somebody have to choose you against somebody else? Interesting. And especially in COVID times, discount is very important. So
Mm.
price can be only the point in today, maybe for some businesses, there is no choice. So do you have that leverage in that negotiation, please? Yeah. So having said that, today we are in a fix where we are saying price is the most important component. Yeah. So agreed with you on that part. So how can you really bring that piece to your benefit and their benefit? Let's say, for example, I have an interesting example to give you. So I'm working with an NGO which makes masks for mass, So they don't sell, because price is the component. Very good. Rajesh's credit can be very, very important as well.
Yes.
So that's the second example I was going to give you, Rajesh. So, people are talking about mask already. So here is an interesting thing. If you were to buy 20,000 masks from me, this is the price I can give you. Quick delivery, very good. Interesting option. Yeah, the another example that I want to also give you is, I have a person who runs a very high-tech boutique. Arvind, people can really relate to this. They have had an interesting offer right now as part of their negotiation. You order now, you pay later, which is an interesting bargain that they have. So as part of negotiation, there is a lot of strategy you may have to put as part of your preparation phase, which will really help you really be part of that particular scenario.
Shri, I just want to share my recent negotiation
Go
with
ahead,
one of the.
Yogesh.
So Raja, what I did is that when I knew that this procurement guy is going to really pull me up on this, because I've heard stories about this procurement strategy from other sources. So what I did is I actually quoted the price, but took 4 options along with that. Okay, so when he started negotiating on the price, I said no problem, I will go with the price. This is the other option that you have. And then he realized the difference between the 2 options, and then he could really see the value of why there is a distinction. So many a times, while I knew about this guy, but I really didn't treat him that he's going to really make my life messy. I really went with this whole idea of displaying everything in front of him, and then he finally chose the one which I wanted at the price I wanted, because he could see the distinction.
Wow, Jagan
Yeah.
says options can create co-options, but I want
Yes,
to
yes.
just share one other thought process, which is a thread with Yogesh's thought. So while you are really looking at, these procurement where they have a typical mindset, yeah. So we're talking about the debate piece, where as part of this 4-stage process, you will be able to assess by asking intelligent question of what is important for them. And playing your cards by what brings value in their thought process. Now, for an example, it could be just a great relationship will bring a great value for a purchase guy. For him, the rest of that can be just, anything else. But a great relationship will really add value. So it's important for you to understand. That's why I mentioned strategy would be a very interesting thing to go forward in that. Another interesting thing that I also want to share is what Yogesh said. Pocket your offering with different sets.
Yeah.
And price them accordingly, So
Yeah.
tell them that if you want the entire package, this is the price. At your price, these 4 things will be removed. If these are not valuable for you at recession time, fine, take only this, no problem.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here what you achieve is you are creating an acceptable deal. Now, across our 6-step process and across our 4 questions, you would have really come across that we are not only talking about us, we are talking about the buyer or the seller. It is 2-way. You are not only talking about your needs, you're talking about their needs as well. So I again recommend that all of you go and read these books on purple negotiation, and you can win. You will see that screaming about this is very, 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 high.
Yeah,
I'm
one
reading.
last thing, Shri, I just want to, in this particular case, I just want to end by saying that, in last 4 years, I might have just given one option to a customer where I said that don't worry about money, you take the service, pay me next year. Now with this procurement guy, I mean, no customer ever did that, but just that offer. So I told this procurement guy, don't worry, you don't have the budget, take the
Yeah.
service at my price, give me next year.
Correct.
And that itself told him that I'm looking for a very long-term
Oh,
relationship with you.
very nice, interesting. So it's a strategy, Rajesh, according to me.
Yeah.
You will have to play your cards. There's so many techniques to this. In the interest of time, these are 2-3 things that I can suggest. I saw a question from Rajesh on COVID. Rajesh, Yogesh, you want
So
to?
it says in COVID-19 situation, we will probably see never before heard objections.
Very true, very true. So I'm going to
Completely.
take note of all of them and try to pick strategies around solving those objections. So we've moved, across these 4 phases right now. Now, propose and bargain is by itself a technique. In the interest of time, maybe we would have another webinar to understand tools around that. But if you want to create an acceptable deal, the most important mantra is the 6-step Nego-Tech method. If you are able to have answers to them, you really will be able to make a great negotiation. And why I'm repeating myself as acceptable deal is, it's never about us. In the cloud, I saw people saying that we want to get the best. We want it at the cheapest price. Whenever you got something at the cheapest price, you're killing business for your seller. And it's not a two-way at all. So both these schools prescribe that you always work and prepare on both parties. So we want to reiterate on this. When you prepare, think of these questions. What are my needs? What are their needs? What are my needs I'm willing to trade off? And what are their needs that they are willing to trade off? If you've had answers to these 4, that means you have met these 4 phases, and your preparation phase is incomplete without the Nego-Tech prep method. So if you're able to do that, I request Sai to share that Nego-Tech prep method to every participant here. It will be great for you to go back and use that particular
while I
tool.
do that, Shri, do you want to quickly answer one question by
Please,
Sunita?
go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the book you mentioned was Purple Negotiation. Which is the other book?
I said You Can Win.
You Can Win. Okay.
Yeah. Which is by William Ury. Right? So, having spoken about, those 4 interesting tools, I'd like you to share it in the chat box as well. But one interesting thought process that I'd like to also share. Can you share the square slide, Yogesh, for me, please? This is the 4 phases we are talking about. If you look at it, you can be in any of these phases and cross across the other phases as well. One, you start preparing, then you go to debate. And, after the debate, you propose. And when you are in between debate and propose, you get a lot of signals on, what are their needs, what are their tradables, what are, things they are okay to, trade with you on aspects. And from there, you can create a strategy on bargain. By bargain, we mean that if you are able to give me this, then I will be able to give you this. If you are able to give me 25 sessions across the next year, I am willing to work at this price. That's the way we want to really close the negotiation, post which you have an agreement, of course. On that thought, in the interest of time, we have about 5 to 7 minutes to go. Negotiation is so close to my heart, plus also it is a very big topic to really cover in 1 hour. So I request you all to go back and do your bit of reading. Remember, negotiation is always two-way. If you're not working on an acceptable deal, then you're only working for yourself. Then you may not have anybody to negotiate with. So it's always two-way. When you prepare, you always be empathetic about the other party, especially now during COVID times. It's important for you to really see that the other person also met their needs while you met your needs as well. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact,
So on that thought, happy negotiation. I'm open for questions.
Yeah. So while I can see already people saying thanks for the wonderful session. It was very informative. I feel that I think this builder whom I was talking about, I think he's done a fantastic deal with me for 20 years. So he's that one thing that they have done. I think forever I am his customer type. So I think negotiation is a very long-term strategy, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to just say this thing because just imagine if you've had answers before you went to the negotiation table, how
Yeah.
seamless it can get. You may be contemplating with the client's answers, I agree, but you have
Yes.
some amount of preparation with the amount of, look at the audience we have. All of us
Yeah.
have enormous amount of experience. We will know what
Yeah.
the client might say. We may miss
Yeah.
some numbers maybe, but
Yes.
we really can anticipate certain answers. So can
Yeah.
we
I
really do
think,
some research much before?
Shri, one more thing. I think people are still very excited about the 3 schools that you talked about.
Okay,
They want
so
to.
I will repeat it again.
Please.
William Urie's You Can Win. There
Yeah.
are very beautiful videos you can go and see on value preposition, videos around how clients' mind work. Yeah, Will Urie, you're right. You can. That's right. Yeah. So thanks, Jagan. So handy he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second school is Purple Negotiation by
Okay.
Gavin Kennedy. You may also want to search for The Negotiation Edge. That's the name of the company, but apparently Purple Negotiation is very, very famous.
Yeah.
The third is the most famous school, Huthwaite, Huthwaite. And the
Yeah.
name of the school is Spin Selling.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, why spin selling? Because every sales conversation cannot be without negotiation.
Right.
Right?
Okay. So
Brilliant.
I think
Yes.
one question by Abir saying that your views on preconceived notions, either the buyer or seller has in mind about the other.
Okay.
So
Abir, I want to, Abir, you can unmute yourself if you like.
yeah.
Whenever you've been the buyer, yeah, would you go into a shop or a negotiation table or, whenever you went on organized negotiation, what are some preconceived notions that you have?
See, from an organization perspective, so normally when you are talking to an organization, you have certain preconceived notions about the positioning of that organization, the potential of the organization, and how one should be and what are the limits you are drawing to. Normally what happens is this becomes a barrier because you are not challenging those barriers at points.
Right.
And so those become preconceived notions. So if I am talking to, say, a supplier who is the best supplier of a X product, then I have some preconceived notions about, okay, he is good, his product is good, blah, blah, blah. So probably there are barriers I'm forming in my own mind, which becomes a preconceived notion for me.
Correct. So my answer to your question now, let's say, for example, if you are going to be the seller, you anticipate these preconceived notions from your buyer.
Okay.
And while as part of your preparation, you really have answers to beat those preconceived notions.
Okay.
So they may not be absolute. I agree. You may not be able to break all the preconceived notions. While you're able to talk about reality, let's say, for example, I completely understand, the training industry has lots of holes in it, and we are here to really co-facilitate that hole. If Yogesh and I had this conversation.
Yeah, see, just it's 5 o'clock and people want to just, no, so I just was wanting to say that we can thank everybody for joining. I think we had 100 people coming today. So the people, others can stay back because you and me, she and me we're going to be here for another 15 minutes. So those who want to have Q&A can continue with us. But others, we want to thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can all of us unmute our video?
Yes,
And maybe
yes,
we can
yes,
have a gallery to take a picture. It will be valuable for
yes,
us.
yes, yes,
Then I
yes,
request Sai, you can unmute their video, please.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be very nice. And you can put your best smile on.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
Balti kar rahi hai, Namita. Thanks.
नमिता तो ग्लैमरस ऐसे भी लगती है actually.
Yeah, so
You caught me off guard.
friends
Yeah,
किसके लिए होते हैं,
Rajesh,
Namita?
awesome. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
brilliant.
so
Yeah, yeah.
can
So I'm just going
Yogesh,
to
you can
click the
just
picture.
take pictures of. We
Yeah,
have a
मैंने
couple of screens here. We have about 50
Yeah.
of us odd.
I think very cherry Arun B. I think yeah. Praveen is looking awesome, handsome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mukesh. Yeah, okay, awesome.
Yogesh, you can take
Nita,
pictures.
yeah, I can take. I can take. Yeah, I've taken.
Taking a
I've taken.
screenshot also.
Yeah, screenshot.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, awesome. Everybody is ready to
Mohit, I'm
negotiate.
seeing Mohit. Hi, Mohit.
Hi,
Jet,
it was a really great session. Say hi to him also from our side.
Hi.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Hi, all of you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
photo
just
session over. We are open for questions. We are here for 15 minutes. So
Yes,
go
yes.
ahead and shoot your questions. Abir, I hope I answered your question. Is be prepared for those preconceived notions so that you will be able to really break those notions for the client.
So we do agree that it is very important that we break those notions to have a more fruitful negotiations
Mhm.
going forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Any other question that we are missing out, Yogesh?
No, I think I'm just looking at the chat now. So I think no. I think a lot of thank you coming from. I think thank you from Rajesh Kochar means a lot for us.
Yogesh, you mentioned 3-4 times about the builder. Do we need to connect with him?
But are you
About-
okay to buy something now during COVID?
That would be the, I think, the good time to buy something.
Yeah, yeah.
Can
Pakka,
negotiate
pakka.
it.
I'll connect you with the builder. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Great. We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Mohan.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you very much, everybody. So such
Yeah.
a pleasure. Hope we added some value.
Yeah.
Continue preparation for great negotiation. Remember, it always has to be a acceptable deal. Thank
So
you.
thank you so much, guys, for joining. We are doing this as part of our lockdown series, as I've said, and also we have done lots of founders interviews from different startups on various aspects of their journeys. So you can also watch that through our social media pages. And thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yogesh
Thank
sir
you,
and
everybody.
Srilekha ma'am, for supporting us all the time.
Pleasure.
Yeah, Sri Lanka ma'am has done a wonderful job actually. Ma'am thing is awesome actually.
Both. I'm listening to ma'am after a long time. So
I know, I can imagine. Yeah. Chalo, good. Thanks, Sri.
yeah, thank you very much. We wait for all participants to go, Yogesh, if they have
Yeah,
any
yeah.
questions.
We can wait. Yeah, sure.
We've offered for 15 minutes.
Yeah, we can wait. Till then, we can talk to.
We can
Really
talk
good.
to anybody who's open to talk to us.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
Mr. Decker. It's a wonderful session. This is
Thank
Shekhar
you.
here.
Hi, Shekhar. Thank you very
Shekhar.
much.
So recently, this is a very good session for me, particularly in this situation. I'm going to explain my situation to you. Maybe you can just advise me.
Sure. Do you want to come on the video as well so that I know who Shekhar is?
Actually, I'm trying to, but it's saying I cannot start the video because the host has stopped it.
Okay, Sai.
Okay, Sai, give him
I'll
access,
name
please.
it. What's your name actually?
My name is
Chandrasekhar.
Chandrasekhar.
Okay. And one more question, Srilekha from Shailaja from Prakya Solutions. That any specific tips when we want to negotiate with government entities?
Yeah, there you go.
Have a lot of patience.
So we'll maybe after
Okay, Shailaja, surely there is a long process, and also, it's important to understand the need for the government. See, specifically in tender-based negotiations, there is no scope at all, right? So a long relationship helps there. In each industry, there are different ways for negotiation. So with the government part of it, I really think relationships work great with negotiation.
Right. So we'll go back to Shekhar.
Hi.
I'm hearing something. Echo
Yeah,
actually.
Shekhar, can you? Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
recently
Shekhar, go
we have
ahead.
started an international. Okay, recently we have started an international architecture company here in
Mhm.
Hyderabad
Mhm,
with the name Lux Design Studios.
mhm.
So our architects are from different parts of the world, mostly from Europe.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of problems here. Most of our star hotels or IT companies and everything for their designs, so they are just outsourcing to Singapore, European architects mostly.
Mhm.
So because of that, there is a lot of wastage in time, too much expensive. There are a lot of overburden things. They have to arrange the what is it? They have to arrange for the accommodation of the architects and everything. There's a whole lot of problem over there. So to resolve those issues, we have started an international architecture company here itself with the architects from around the world. So recently, we have done the sales office for one of the construction company. Now we want to raise the invoice for them. What the price they have in mind is different, completely different than what the price we have in our mind. So we have designed like a very world-class product for them, and it was like a really excellent. So we have saved us a lot of resources. We made it very budget friendly. At the same time, it was looking so elegant. The builder was like super happy for that output. But now, when we want to raise the invoice, he is comparing the local market prices, which we cannot really go with. For example, for a square feet, he's looking around like 100 rupees per square feet for the design. But the price we have in mind is around like 300 per square feet. So right now I'm in a dilemma, okay, how to convince them.
No, Shekhar, I have a question in mind. Did we
Yeah.
know that they were looking for 300 rupees or 100 rupees before we created all this? That's the first prep which is missing.
Actually, they know. They were the people who were proposed to that. Okay, so
it's important. That's the first initial understanding. I'm coming just to put the crux of what you're trying to tell us. So when we all are getting indicators of business in pipeline, right? We get very excited about it, and we start making the entire piece before we really, go to market or identify what the needs are. So that's exactly where, if you were to look at this piece, if you follow this, then you will know what it will be. Before that, follow these 4 questions. What are my needs? What are their needs?
Right.
If they want something at 100 rupees, which will look like 300 rupees, then there's a basic understanding flaw, right? So on the negotiation table, there is need for more debate. Go back and talk to them. If you are looking at 100 rupees, is it okay if we have substandard quality? What are your basic mandatory requirement? So again, we go back to preparation part of it, right? You have to really look at that. So when we didn't know that they can afford 300 or they cannot afford 300, we have made something which is 300 where they can afford only 100, or they are not seeing value on the 300 part of it right now. So you'll have to build a case study on the 300 part of it at this point in time. I hope that answered your question, Shekhar. So do more research, do more, need analysis before you present your thoughts to your client. That will be my response for your question. Right now, you have to go into a renegotiation. That's what you can do right now. There is no other way.
Okay.
You can't provide the 300 service at 100 service, right? 100, right? That's not possible.
Exactly. Right.
So you have to go back to renegotiation. And no deal is good deal sometimes.
Okay.
Of course, not
like
during coding.
Yeah, actually.
No deal is good deal.
My experience is that the same person actually comes back.
Absolutely.
You may think that you're losing, but he comes back actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had a very recent example also. One of my coaching clients kept on harping that you give me this coaching at half the price, we are only going to be online. Right? But doesn't understand, for me to go to his office or for me to come to for him to come to my office, the cost is only 200 rupees by taxi.
Alright.
How can the coaching experience become 50% less?
Right.
You can't
Right.
negotiate on that price. So I put my foot down and told him that